Then I should say a couple words about how I got interested in Austria in the first place, right? Because now I'm getting an award from the Austrian government, and it might be of interest to people to know a little bit about the backstory. Because as you heard, I was actually born in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is a part of the United States. I'm an American who, as you also know, recently became a Canadian. But where does the Austria fit into all of this? Well, it goes back, and I was thinking about this yesterday, it goes back to 1983. In 1983, I had just finished studying at Boston University as an undergraduate history major in European history. But I had never been to Europe before. So I was thinking that I should go, and my grandmother gave me money to buy a rail pass to go to Europe to get to see the place I'd been studying for 4 years. And it happens that my mother, on her father's side, had a cousin who lived in Austria. So one of the places that I went was Austria. And it also turns out that this gentleman, his name was Klaus Zemperek, was one of the Vorsitzende of the Voestalpine, which is a big concern, or was a public concern in Linz at the time. So I went to Austria for the first time in '83, and this guy feted me and wanted to show me how great Austria was, and he gave me a tour, he had his staff give me a tour of the Voestalpine works in Linz, so I got to see the industry of Austria, but he also, and I give him a lot of credit for this, sat me down one evening in Linz and put on some music, gave me a glass of wine, Grüne Veltliner I think it was, and started playing Anton Bruckner. And he said, in order to understand Austria, and particularly Upper Austria, where he was from, you have to understand this music. And so we sat there for an hour or two in the evening in Linz in, I guess, summer of 1983, and listened to Bruckner, one of Bruckner's symphonies. And I really became enamored by the place, right? The thinking and the ideas of the place. I happened to go off, and later on that trip with this rail pass, I met an Austrian woman. And it seemed like it was meant to be, right? That I had this connection to Austria by my family from my mother's side. There was this Austrian woman that I met on the train. One thing led to another, and we married. I lived in Austria for a number of years and did my dissertation research, and you didn't happen to mention this in your comments, but I also was a Fulbright student at the Kepler Universität in Linz, which was not too far from where my relatives lived in Linz-Urfahr. So I spent, I think, 2 years going around the Austrian countryside, looking into city archives, town archives. I worked in Stiftsarchiv Kremsmünster. I worked in the Stadtarchiv in Speyer, in Linz, in Wels. I lived in Wels for 2 years altogether. Going to little towns like Sittbachsel and Zierning and Thalheim by Wels. Probably most of you aren't Upper Austrians, you're Southerners, you won't know this area all that well, but it gave me a real insight into everyday life. And my in-laws were Waldviertler. So every weekend, or a few weekends a month, or a few weekends, a month, I would go up to the Waldviertel and go to a little town called Kotis, which is up in...
wood quarter, my friend, in Vienna.
Okay.
We're driving into the wood quarter.
Yes, the wood quarter. The Voidviertel, we were up there. And so all of this just gave me a real appreciation for the place, the people. Unfortunately, the relationship with the Austrian woman didn't last as long as we had probably hoped at the time, but I do have a son who lives in Austria, in Hallein, and I have family connections then to this place. So I wanted to point out that my connections to Austria are not simply academic, right? It's not just somebody who decided to study Austrian history out of pure academic interest. There's family interest, there's emotional interest, and there's a real personal tie I have to the place. I may not be Austrian, but I really appreciate Austria. I appreciate all of you and all that you do for Austria, and I'm happy that over the years I could do a little bit for the country as well. And I'm so very grateful for the award, and I will wear it proudly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your backstory.
Please show the thing now for your wife. No, but you have to open up, put your glass down.
That sounds kind of provocative. Please
No,
show
no,
the
listen.
thing for your...
Well, because she's going to be seeing it. She couldn't be here, so therefore. All right.
Oh, and the rosette here, it goes onto the lapel.
A little bit tilted more tilting. Hold on to the rosette. There you go.
And Felice, you might be able to read it. Oh, it's upside down, okay.
You can read it to her.
Literis et artibus.
Oh.
Felice is a medievalist, so she should know the Latin.
All right.